we hate it for him. We're here to help him, but he's not enrolled for personal reasons. And again, moving forward, I just hope everything gets better for you.
Before we go any farther, I'm going to address this, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be very harsh in this next statement. You may not like this, but it's what you need to hear. It's sad, I am sad that a young man has pretty much lost his livelihood because of one mistake. This might be one of, if not the saddest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know a way to slowly dive into this, so you better pay attention and lock in right now because we're jumping straight into it. A former high school basketball star, and let me add to this, he was a fan favorite, everybody loved him, and I'd say he was very popular in the high school basketball community. His career might already be over. This picture I'm showing you right now, this is Zion Harmon in 2021 this time a year ago. And now fast forward in time to our current date, this picture was posted literally less than 24 hours ago. Yes, this is the same kid, the same person. He's only 20 years old. I mean this in the most respectful way possible. A 20-year-old shouldn't look like this. He looks like a 35-year-old man who's going through a midlife crisis. Oh man, we have a lot, and I mean a lot to talk about and go over in this video. You better get you a snack and popcorn because this is going to be a good one. Real quick though, before we dive into this video, my man Thomas sent me some of this information on Instagram. This video would literally not be happening if he didn't send me this message right here, because I would have had no way to know about this. So in the comment section, can we get a couple people to say thank you, Thomas? It really helps out the channel when you guys send me some information, because yeah, I see a lot of stuff, but I can't see everything. Once again, can we get some thank you Thomases in the chat? And also, we're on the road to 200K, so if you like basketball content or stuff like this, hit that subscribe button, help us out. And now without further ado, let's get into it. Whoa, hold on, I just checked. We're like 100 subs away from 192,000. Come on now, let's see if we can get 100 subs from this video. And now without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, good old Zion Harmon. Now, I don't want to bore you and give you his entire backstory and life story, but I do want to give you some context. Like we already stated, coming out of high school, not only was he a 4-star point guard, one of the best point guards in the country, he was pretty much a celebrity in the high school basketball world. Yes, there was a couple point guards maybe that were better than him, but they weren't more famous than him. Everybody loved him. I think it's safe to say that most high school basketball players, even if they are a 5-star recruit, they don't have 245,000 followers on Instagram. The future was bright from this young man. He had a ton of college offers, including one from Kansas, and I'd say that's a pretty good offer considering they're one of the best basketball teams of all time and they just won a championship. Just because he had an offer from Kansas, it didn't mean he was going to get playing time there, but technically he could have went there if he wanted to. But he wasn't dumb though, he was smart. He was like, okay, if I go to Kansas or a big time school like that, I'm not going to play a lot, so why not go to another D1 school that's maybe not as good, but I could be a star. To me, if I was a high school athlete, that's what I would do. I've never understood when these 3- and 4-star recruits think they're going to go to Duke and Kentucky or Kansas and play right away. It's not going to happen. I understand everybody has their preference, and going to Kentucky and Duke, we've seen it. Devin Booker, he was a bench player and he still got selected in the first round. So yes, it is a proven fact. They may have better ties with the NBA, but like Steph Curry, why not go to a school like Davidson and dominate and create your own legacy? I've always felt like a lot of recruits mess up because they just want to go to a school that has a good brand. Anyways, getting back on topic with Zion Harmon, he did just that. He said, nah, I'm not going to go to a powerhouse and sit the bench. I'm going to go to Western Kentucky. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below, but I believe Western Kentucky was ranked at one point in time last year. Oh wait, my bad. I don't think it was last year. I think it might have been the year before, but anyways, they've been a good team overall. I'll show you their previous records right here. In 2017, they was 27-11, going up from there, 20-14, 20-10, 21-8, and 19-13. Is Western Kentucky, Kansas good? No, but for their standards, they've been pretty solid. Zion Harmon going to Western Kentucky, it seemed like a great and ideal fit. It's a good D1 school he can go to, maybe start right away, and potentially get drafted in the NBA. Weirdly enough though, Zion Harmon disappeared for around a year, and nobody heard a single thing about him. nobody knew what was going on. And when you have a guy who had as much clout, hype, and attention that he had, people are going to start to ask questions. You also got to take into account this was a 4-star recruit that went to Western Kentucky. That doesn't happen every single day. I'm sure Western Kentucky, they get their fair share of 2- and 3-star recruits, but not many 4-stars. Eventually, as time slowly began progressing, everybody started to do some digging and some research and asking more questions. And then finally, the head coach was asked about it, and here's what he had to say.
Zion's still the same, again, as the statement said, we hate it for him. We're here to help him, but, he's not enrolled for personal reasons. And again, moving forward, I just hope everything, gets better for him.
There you have it right there from the man himself. He stated that Zion is no longer a part of the team or even enrolled. I'm not going to be as nice as he was, and you could tell he was trying to be respectful and not say too many bad things about Zion. And I'm not trying to be mean by this, I'm just going to tell you the brutal truth. It was more of Western Kentucky, they kicked him out. Kicked him out, removed him from the team and the entire university, whatever you want to say it, he was no longer a part of it. One of the official statements as to why he left Western Kentucky was quote-unquote mental health issues. However, we would come to find out that wasn't the truth. The real truth was actually exposed by Zion Harmon himself. Out of nowhere on Instagram and Twitter, I'll try to find the pictures, they're now deleted, but he was posting crazy stuff. It would just be videos and pictures with no words, no context whatsoever, and I'll show you right here, him looking like he's growling at the camera. Yeah, that was definitely concerning and strange, and I did see it at the time, but I didn't even know what to make of it because I didn't know what was going on. I think I was in the same boat as some of you. When he first posted a picture like that, or even two, maybe we thought it was a troll or something, but it continued to happen. As he kept doing that and posting crazy stuff on Instagram, everybody was like, okay, there is something seriously wrong with this man. This isn't a joke. And well, what do you know? More of the truth slowly started to leak out, and it was stated that he was laced. It was said and confirmed that somebody gave him laced drugs. Me personally, I'm not too familiar with drugs, weed, alcohol, anything like that, because I don't do it. But when you hear the phrase laced drugs, you can kind of figure out somebody did something to it. But still, people don't know what it means, so I'll try to dumb it down for you the best way I can. Actually, I'll just show you some comments right here where people are asking what does laced mean, and this person stated, someone put a harmful drug in his blunt without him knowing. To dumb it down even more, it'd be like if you go buy weed from your local plug you've been using for 2 or 3 years, and they put some harmful stuff in it they normally don't. And when I say harmful, I mean it can be pretty bad. I did do some minor digging and research, and from what I gathered, just because something's laced doesn't mean you're going to go crazy, but everybody's body's different. You don't know how you're going to react. But what made it 10 times worse for Zion Harmon is he developed schizophrenia. And apparently, according to the sources, that's something that can be genetically transferred. And when I say genetically transferred, I mean like his family might have a history of it. So what happened was, to dumb it down even more, he takes the laced drugs and that triggered the schizophrenia. I'm going to read you some comments that these people said, and I think they give you a lot of insight. Nathan R. stated, if he had a family history of schizophrenia, he likely had the gene for it himself. Marijuana and other drugs can trigger that dream, kind of like just I basically said, this guy's stealing my quotes. So if he did smoke or do mushrooms once, he was putting himself in danger. That's why it's important to know yourself before you do those things. Cannon stated, had a childhood friend in Chicago who became legally handicapped from laced drugs. Man, it still breaks my heart what happened to him and that he is no longer the same person and doesn't remember any of our childhood memories. Like he just stares off and is a new person. This is a horrible thing to happen to anyone. Man, that made me sad reading it, and I'll address that in just a second. I normally don't like to read long quotes, but these are so important. Please listen. Only got 2 more. Chaotic Gaming stated, this happened to my older brother. Someone gave him laced weed without him realizing. ... And he lost his mind and was diagnosed with schizophrenia. It's been 10 years now, and while he's not all the way back, he's at a point of happiness. He enjoys music and watching sports. ... But it's still very sad. He was also highly recruited in football and everything changed in one day. And last but not least, Jordan Devell said, this happened to someone I played ball with in high school. He was starting on our varsity team while in 8th grade, great hooper, a lot of opportunity, but lacked drive. One summer, he was served some bad molly and was never the same person again. Sad, sad story. Those are just 4 of the comments I picked down, and I could have read off 100 of them. Before we go any farther, I'm going to address this, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be very harsh in this next statement. You may not like this, but it's what you need to hear. The reason I can speak on this, and I feel like I should speak on it, is because I've never drank a day in my life, I've never smoked a day in my life, and I've never did drugs. It's all personal preference as to why I don't. And if you do some of those things, I'm not judging you. That's totally fine. It's your life. I'm not your mom or dad. I'm not here to try to convince you to quit doing that stuff, because if you want to ruin your life, I don't care. It's your life, not mine. I can only focus on me. I do want to speak on this though, because number one, I can relate to it, and number two, I know there's some young people watching this video. Let me share a little story with y'all. When I was growing up, around the age of middle school going into high school, that's when all of our friends, we start to change. I would say from around 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, that's when you can kind of tell who's going to be successful in life and who's going down that wrong path. And it was around that time where a group of friends I hung out with every single day, they started getting into some not so great stuff. It wasn't nothing serious. It was just drinking here and there, smoking here and there, but we all know that can lead to other things. Drinking alcohol and smoking, that's just the beginning steps. Ultimately, to make a very long story short, I had to quit hanging out with them, and it hurt. It really did, because those were my best friends. But I can't hang around people like that. I gotta better my life. It's not that I didn't like them. I would still do anything for them same guys till this day. I just can't surround myself around that, because you are who you hang with. That friend group I had, there was 4 people in it, including me, so there was 5. And guess what? All of them started doing some stuff they probably shouldn't have done, and I just veered off and started hanging out with new people that didn't do that stuff. All 4 of those friends I was hanging around with that started doing that stuff, they've all been to jail ever since then. I say that to say this so I can give you some perspective. I've hung around people that started doing drugs, started drinking, whatever you want to call it, but I've also hung around people that don't do those things. This may be a major shock to some of you guys, but the people I hang around with that don't drink and they don't do drugs, they tend to be more successful than the people I hung around with that did do that stuff. Is that a coincidence? Heck to the no. People that don't do drugs, don't drink alcohol, whatever you want to call it, and they work on their dreams and they grind, they go to the gym, they're always 900 out of 901 times more successful than the people that do that stuff. I'm not saying it's going to happen every time, because I know somebody in the comments section is going to say, oh, well, I got a friend who does drugs and he's a multimillionaire. Okay, I'm not going to call you a liar, but good for him. He's 1 out of 1,000. I'm going to leave you with this. You think people living in mansions, driving Lamborghinis, they were partying on the weekends and doing drugs? No, they grinded. And yeah, you may see some of those people driving Lamborghinis now. They drink alcohol here and there, but that's okay. They've already made it to the top. If you hang around people who need drugs and need to drink to have a good time, you need to get a new friend group. That's my mini rant for the day. I haven't done one of those in a while, but I am very serious on that manner. I do apologize that rant was longer than I wanted it to be, but I hope it can help some of y'all. Let's get back on topic. As to when I am posting this video, this picture you're seeing right now was posted only about 26 hours ago. This is a picture from Harmon floating in the air. Looks like he's trying to fly like a bird. Does this look like a post that somebody would put out there that was okay in the head? I don't think so. And then to follow that up, only 1 hour after that post, he posted another picture of him floating in the air, and then this just random picture of him sitting right here. I'm not here to criticize anybody. I'm just telling you the news. If this doesn't concern you, I don't know what will. I already know somebody's going to try to say, well, Matt, you're hating on him. You're trying to beat a man when he's down. No, I'm not. I'm praying for Harmon, and so do you guys. This is sad. Something serious is going on with him. No 20-year-old should look like this. Trust me, if you live in a city like New York City or California, like Los Angeles, where there's homeless people and people that are on drugs walking around, you know what it looks like when somebody's taking some stuff. I don't know what happened, and I want to show you this comparison once again. This picture is from only a year ago, and this one is from a day ago. And then too, about the rant, I know some people are going to say, well, Matt, your argument's invalid. I smoke every single day, and I'm doing just fine. Well, okay, that's good for you, and I've always hated this argument where people that smoke say, I'm not addicted, I could stop at any time. Well, okay, try to stop then. I don't know if smoking slows your brain down or none of that. I'm not a scientist, but here's what I do know. It doesn't help you much. It may not hurt you, but what is it helping? Oh, guess what? It's not helping anything, genius. It's just losing your money. Unless I've missed something, I've never seen anywhere stating that smoking weed's gonna make you smarter and make you more money. So, okay, if you want to say you smoking, it's not affecting you, well, my argument is it's not helping you. If you want to waste your money on weed, whatever, and have temporary happiness, okay, go right at it. Your life, it's not mine. But guess what? There is consequences to everything, and maybe possibly you could get laced just like this. And I hate to say it, but it's a possibility. It's sad. I am sad that a young man has pretty much lost his livelihood because of one mistake. I feel for him because I know high school players who threw their careers away. I've played with many of them that I feel like possibly could have made it to the NBA, but they started doing bad stuff. I hate to use him as an example, but if this isn't a wake-up call to all these people that do drugs or whatever, I don't know what is. One quote and phrase I try to live my life by is this right here. It's always good to learn from your mistakes. You always should. But it's even better to learn from other people's mistakes. Think about it. Don't even make the mistake. Learn from somebody else. Last but not least, before we end out this video, at about 5 a.m. today, as when you're seeing this video, he posted this on Instagram. Future Matt coming in here to edit this. He actually deleted it only 6 hours after he posted it, and unfortunately, I couldn't screen record it in time. So yeah, all it was him just doing a workout. That is a great sign. It looks like he's back into the gym, but it doesn't mean everything is a-okay. We've seen it with Delonte West. If you don't know who that is, he's a former NBA player who started doing drugs, and now he's currently homeless. Mark Cuban tried helping him on the street, getting him a hotel and job, and he's still homeless. And we saw it. He actually was supposed to play in the Big 3 league, and I think he did, and you could tell he could still play basketball. And I'm not trying to put him down, but take him working out right here with a grain of salt. Just because he's got the physical movements doesn't mean mentally he's there. And one thing you got to learn in life is your mental health is bigger than everything else. Because if you don't have it mentally, you can't have it physically. If y'all guys could do me and Zion a favor, let's not try to hate on him. Let's build him up. I'm hoping this isn't the end of his story, because that's a terrible way to end it. I'm wishing him the best of luck. I want to see him come back. I want to see him succeed. No human should go out this way. It is a sad story, and I can't emphasize it enough. Man, it's just a sticky situation, because what's next? I don't know where he could go to college and play. Yeah, rough situation. Just because he can't play basketball, though, doesn't mean his life's over. Hopefully he turns things around, and I've covered pretty much everything I wanted to. So let me know your thoughts on this down below. And as always, we're on the road to 200K. So if everyone helps out, I appreciate it. Peace out.